a while. Yeah.
Oh,
The
yep,
time. And just is it live now?
yep, you're on.
Okay. Oh, now it's here. So on this. Sally, how you going?
Good, thank you, Paul. Happy Tuesday. Can
Happy
you believe
Tuesday.
it's the middle of November?
I
OMG, it seemed like
know.
yesterday we were just saying, right. Man,
I know. And
right.
Christmas is around the corner.
I don't know. Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
So,
there.
so today we're going to be talking about tools that can help us to amplify our goals. And
Mhm.
as you'll see, I'm wearing my beads today.
I love it. And what do those beads represent?
So I don't know, about probably 14 years ago, I went to Fiji to do a camp called Billionaire Boot Camp.
Right.
And everybody that went to that camp got the beads.
Yep.
So these are my Billionaire Boot Camp beads. And the reason why they gave us the beads was so that they could anchor in the billionaire mindset. So anchoring is one of those tools that we will discuss later on. But I thought I'd give you a graphical demonstration of a tool that you can use.
I love it. You crack me up. You do crack me up. All righty. So we're talking about amplifying, bringing in that money, right? And might also add, how cool is the change in the little bit on the top of the book, of the group, sorry, the headline.
How to change. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
choose more
no.
money. Where the energy goes, the money
Yeah.
flows. Love it, because want is a it's a word of lack. It's like as if you don't have enough. But when you're choosing to add on top of all this beautifulness that you've already got, this abundance that you're already rich in, because abundance is all around us. It doesn't have to be literally just about money. The wealth is the wealth of ourself as well as the wealth of the money. It's the wealth of our lives. It's the wealth of the things that we value, right? So when we're choosing, we're just adding on from what we've already got. So coming from a really great place.
Absolutely. And no, I'm glad I've got all the tools. That choose is actually my own handwriting.
Is it? That is so
Yeah.
cool. You're very clever. You're very talented.
I don't know. Well, I mean, it's a writing pad, and because of COVID, everything's gone to Zoom or
Yeah.
meeting, as you can see. And so for me, I love to draw and have pictures when I'm explaining things to my clients.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're on Zoom, it's hard to draw things. So I just got myself a little drawing pad, and it's hard. It's about trying to get it together. But yeah, so I can do all of these fancy little things with all these little drawing pads and things like that.
Yeah, I like visual as well. So,
Everyone likes visual.
and I'm not great at drawing, but I was in a course the other day and I was reviewing my year of the things that have really helped me. Hang on, I'm going to cough. Hang on, tick. Excuse me. I picked a word for the year, and my word was fulfillment. And then I was reviewing my year. Hang on, I'm going to cough again. Sorry. Excuse me. It's and so I was going through what are the things that have fulfilled me in the whole year. So I've started reviewing and reflecting on the year. So I just did it on my normal pages. I went through and just did screenshots and just building it up. So it's got stuff like, moving to my house in the past year, being a part of this group. I've got it in here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Running workshops, getting some of my activated clients, doing my logo for my new clothing range. And I've got in the picture here a whole heap of money flying everywhere. Can you see that?
Yeah, I've got that in my. We're going to talk about some of the tools, but yeah, I've got those tools, and yeah. But before we get on to this,
yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say before we get on to the theme of tonight, tell us about how your week was, because you've had an interesting week. You've been flying around to Noosa, spending time with your girlfriend.
So
soaking up the sun rays.
32 degrees yesterday and came to 12 degrees here in Melbourne today. But this is how, when you get in alignment, everything just starts to flow. So it was only very recently with you. I'd had a chat in the morning. We'd been in the loom. We did some things. By 11 o'clock that night, I'd registered my business name and got a website registered for this clothing line that just landed into my head. So a couple of weeks later, and my girlfriend's competing in bodybuilding, and that was in Brisbane. She said, let's go and have a couple of days in Noosa. So, because Noosa is the place where my soul sings. And when I was moving last year, obviously with my kids here, I couldn't move up to Queensland, but my ideal has been get up to Sunshine Beach or around Noosa. So anyway, we go to the comp a couple of weeks ago, and then her daughter was supposed to drive us up to Noosa, and it's, I don't know, 2.5 hours or something. And then at the last minute, her daughter says, no, I can't do it. And literally, we've just come out with our bags at the competition. I'm going, what do we do? So we got in an Uber, $250 later, and we ended up in Noosa. So, it was hilarious, but we made it. And then we only had one day, and normally the weather is beautiful in Noosa, and I've been going up there for years. Well, this is a month ago, literally a month ago, and it was on the Sunday, and it was our only day there, and it was freezing cold to the point my girlfriend bought 2 jumpers. And so what we did was go through every single store. There was nothing else to do. You couldn't lie on the beach, and so I had to buy an umbrella. Like, we went from store to store, and then it landed. This is my niche. This is where I'm launching my clothing ranges up in Noosa. Everything landed because I said, because it's for women in their 50s who are committed to their well-being. And anyway, I've just gone, this is my niche. So then that really helped me narrow down all my marketing, did all of my strategy work, which I put together last week and submitted it, about my whole business plan, the whole strategy, budget, the whole lot. And then it ended up that we ended up going up to Noosa for the weekend. And then I just did more. I did my mood board. I put all that together, my whole mood board of people, what their lifestyle is, what they like to do, took all the photos, made a movie out of it. This is all yesterday, and the weather was perfect. So it was doing all the things that my niche would do. I'd see, this is where the magic happens, when you get in alignment and just trust and believe the process. And now I've got my strategy meeting with them tomorrow and kickstarting the whole thing. But what are the chances? Like, that was a month ago, happened to be there, pissing down with rain, and then it was just like it landed. So I was able to go through all the stores, see what people like to buy and all that sort of stuff, and then went back a month later, literally a month later, and did my mood board. That's all I did, was just take photos, get the feel, the vibe, check everything out, from the cocktails right through to the nice food, to the shops and what it's amazing, Paul. So that is magic. That's just getting it in together, creating that mood board out of it, feeling the vibe and being in alignment and flow.
And that's really what happens when you've got definiteness of purpose, or a very clear, concise goal. And you can see it starting to, you went to Noosa, you loved Noosa, you thought, okay, Noosa's up in North Queensland, it's going to be beautiful, I'm going to enjoy the sun, and it's pissing down with rain, right?
Yeah.
It's really your what you're putting out. There's another side of you that's, we call higher intelligence and all that knows better than you know. And if you follow that,
right?
yeah,
going, here you are, I'm giving it to you on a dish. This has happened.
Yeah.
So that's why I never question from a negative way. I go, okay, so what's the message behind this? And that was the magic. Can you believe it? I only had 24 hours there. That was the magic that landed, flew back going, right, I'm so clear. I've got that clarity that you were talking about, clarity and focus. And then ended up, was already pre-booked to go back up again over the weekend. And there you go. And I did my mood board. I emailed it off today. Like, wow, it's amazing.
Oh, okay, well done.
Yeah, so that's the power of just being in the flow, because this is what we're doing. And we're looking at tools that can help you get more in that flow. I mean, I use a lot of like sprays and things. I've got a whole heap of Resonate essences that I use. There's ones for success, and I spray them around. I use them with my clients, even through, because the energy I can send through Zoom even. Crystals are another thing that I really use. Citrine, put some citrine in by your desk, or lots of powerful things. I have little bags of success crystals, and you can like carry them with you or put them under your pillow. If you're not into crystals, you don't have to be, but they are very powerful, because everything is energy, right? So what are you drawing in? You're drawing your energy into this. And that's why my clothing range is called Empowered Clothing, right? It's using your own energy. But vision boards, like we were saying, are really powerful. And that's why something like this for me is helping me reflect and look. And I've got it, stuck up in front of my thing to say, wow, look at what I have achieved so far, because you've got to reward yourself on your wins as well, on moving forward. It's going to keep you motivated and inspired.
So what I'll do is, for those that have never heard of a vision board and a mood board, I'm going to ask you to explain what they are, each one, what each one is, and the difference between what a mood board and a vision board is. And then perhaps for those people that have a goal, how they can use a vision board to be a tool to manifest a goal and amplify the goal.
Yeah. Well, because it's in your face. That's what it's all about. So you can have tiers of things. A vision board is just your vision. It's what you're choosing, imagining yourself as if you're already there. It might be on a beautiful holiday and you're trying to save up for that. So it's really, really great to get down and dirty when you're cutting up magazines or cutting pictures out, so that you're really getting involved with it. And as you're cutting, you're imagining and putting yourself in that space. So say, for example, it might be a tropical holiday to Hawaii. And so, you've got airline fares that are stuck out there, a fare that you're prepared to pay for. It might be $1,500. I've got this guy coming from Canada, put it out there, he wants to come to Australia. He's coming return for $1,500. Like, ridiculous. So he just put it out there and it happened, and he's arriving in 2 weeks, right? So the vision board is something that you can vision as if you've already got it now, and it's something that you're aiming for, but you're wanting to bring it in. So yeah, super, super powerful, super powerful. Cork boards like you've got behind you. Is that one with postcards or something stuck on it?
Yeah, that's an attempt at the vision board. Yes.
Yeah. So a mood board is, look, they're all sort of similar. The mood is what I was doing with my niche is looking at the lifestyle of the people and understanding. So I can take you through it, but it's just, where do they eat? What do they like to do? What activities do they do? What do they like to wear? Where do they hang out? Getting the mood or the vibe of that particular niche that I'm aiming to target, I suppose. So yeah, and you can have an overall, like say you want to focus on a holiday, you might get overall bits with like, it might be in Hawaii, and it might be shopping at the clothes. It might be having some poke bowls. It might be surfing. It might be lying on the beach. It's getting all of that from a big picture thing. And then you can drill down, and you might have sub boards underneath it as well. So it might be, activities you want to do, like having a massage or bike ride.
And
Hiring bikes.
I think we dropped out,
Yeah.
so maybe you'll just have to repeat that. Maybe we didn't, and it's just by side.
Yeah, well, I was just saying, you can niche down or scroll down to what's it called, macro, micro levels, or you can have a macro like an umbrella level. So a vision board can be as specific. I think the more specific you are, the clearer your idea of what you're after. But then you can also have a big general one, like I've just got with my clothing range, just the overall, who these people are, where they hang out, what they do, getting the ideas around all of that.
Yeah. Okay. And for a mood board, is it just similar to a vision board? You still got the board and you put your pictures of the moods up and things like that?
I'm just getting more of the vibe of the people, the understanding of the people, their lifestyle, who they are, what they do, what they like to do, where they hang out, and that sort of stuff. It's just getting that mood of that vibe. But that was specific for me, for my niche.
Yeah. And the way it works is because two ways. The first way is you put in so much time and energy into creating the board, so you're using your 5% of energy to move forward in your life, and you're focusing on that rather than the negative 95%. But also when it's up there, and you look up there and go, oh, there's a picture of my son in a granny flat, want to build a granny flat out there. So it's always in your face.
Yeah, because what do we say all the time? And you put it now on the header, where your attention goes, well, your energy flows. And you've got, what is it? Where your energy goes, the money flows. And it's absolutely,
That's so true. Where your energy goes, the money does flow. So
you're talking about the 5%. We only are consciously making decisions of 5%. 95% is all subconscious stuff. So you're activating that 5% in your mind, right? And in your soul, in your energy. A vision board is literally, what is your vision? Right?
Yeah.
So thinking about it and bringing that up and out, because the power of writing something down, putting it together so that you can see it, it's so powerful, because you're resonating with that more and more. So that's why we have sticky notes. Like when we're doing affirmations with people, we say, put these affirmations. I don't know, what have I got on mine? I totally love and approve of myself is one of my affirmations. And so I wrote it out so many times. I screenshot it, took a photo of it, and now it's on my phone. So it comes up on my phone. I can't see it because that's up there. But, putting it around so that you see it. I've got a girlfriend and she's on the back of the toilet door. She puts all these really strong affirmations to really lift her energy and get her into that flow and alignment. So many of my friends have got powerful statements spattered all around the house. So the same thing around, what is it that you're choosing to bring into your life? Powerful.
And put it on the mirror in the bathroom, because guess what? You're looking at the mirror. You've got the vision there. In the shower, laminate it. Don't just put a piece of paper.
That was remember that guy? He every week he set new goals and he laminated it and put it in the shower and looks at it every day and he's achieving his goals. He's drawing that energy in, because this is about powerfully drawing things into your life, right? Powerfully. It's not just doing big toe in. You're doing this powerfully.
Well, I want to first say hi to Adrian. Thanks for joining us, Adrian. It's great you've come. You want to know a funny story? I've got another friend called Andrew Charles that I haven't heard from for years and years.
Yep.
And on Friday, I went into the city to do my BNI group. And as I was leaving, I got a phone call from Andrew Charles, and I thought it was Adrian Charles. So I took the call. And no, that's not Adrian. That's Andrew. It just got me all confused. All right, so on to the next thing. So we've got vision boards. We've got the anchors, so props that you can use to anchor. That's similar to a vision board. What else do you have to help amplify?
So we were talking about mind movies and also Pinterest. Now, I use Pinterest because that's where I'm putting all my clothing range ideas. But Pinterest is really, really easy to use and really, really powerful because there's so much on there. This is Pinterest. So have you used it? Have you created anything boards on there?
I've never created any boards on Pinterest, but I've looked at Pinterest to see if there's anything I can use as a visual to cut into a vision board. Or I'm actually making a vision movie, which I'll explain later.
Right. So really, really powerful. I started one, how to powerfully explode your cash flow. So it was interesting because some interesting stuff, that's out there. This one was best time to buy each month. What's the best time to buy stuff? It was amazing. So, I highly recommend Pinterest. And what did we say? Mind movies. Is that what you were just about to talk about?
There's mind movies. So yes, explain your version of the mind movies, and I'll tell you my version. And it's probably a little bit different, but the same concept.
Hang on. So I was just going to show you mine.
Okay.
So mind movies. Here we go. Hang on a ticket. Can't find it here. Oh, that's the old one. Oh, sorry. So a mind movie is when it's a bit like Pinterest. You're capturing pictures or images. You can use your own photos. You can use anything. And it's actually an Australian woman that set up Mind Movies, the company. And I got into it through Joe Dispenza, because when you go on the Joe Dispenza Advanced Retreat, you have to make a mind movie and have that completed before you go over there. And they do have people to help you if you haven't done it in time, but it's to powerfully manifest whatever it is that you're calling into your life. So mine has got money being flown everywhere. It's got pictures of overseas. It's just and you can put text on it. So really powerful affirmations with it too. So, and then adding music, because music is a vibration, right? And so that whole combination is a mind movie, and they're so easy to make, but so powerful. So when you're for example, doing Joe Dispenza, which for me now was 3 or 4 years ago. Gosh, you have to listen to your mind movie so many times, and the power of the energy when you're in these retreats. It's mind blowing what magic can happen afterwards. And as I was networking today, as someone said, it's not magic. This is all proven with science about the whole energy stuff. None of it is magic. It's all scientifically proven. So it's just you're utilizing your own energy.
So my movies are very interesting to me. I remember 20 years ago when perhaps the first version of my movies came out. But can you explain just a little bit more? Is this like an app that you get online, or how do you create the mind movie? Because not everybody has the know-how to go and get some editing software and create their own mind movie. So is it an app?
You could do any of this. You could do this in Canva. You could do this in, if you're an Apple user like me, what's it called? The I something. It's I think it's called iMovie on here. So I'm just logging into mine here. But all you do, so here, I'll bring it up. Watch now. It's just coming up, sorry. So powerful is putting some vision with some music with some powerful affirmations on it. It's just taking a minute to load. Can you see it?
Yes, I can.
Oh, so it has all these powerful affirmations on top.
Now, what you're showing us, is that the actual app, or did you create that on Canva?
No, this is using the Mind Movie app. This is what I created.
The Mind Movie app, yeah.
Back in 2019 or 19. And it was just all my visions, right? Dollars, money flowing everywhere. I'm so grateful I live in a rich and loving universe and I have an abundance of A-grade online clients, blah, 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 blah. So it just goes off. I help others through my business and they appreciate the support I give them. So I use my own photos, I use stock photos, and they just had music that you just added to it. But it's just, this one goes for 3 minutes, so I won't keep it going. But my kids in there, success comes effortlessly to me. I create a home full of love and joy and harmony, peace, all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, it's so powerful. I recognize the uniqueness of my children. We communicate openly and easily and are supportive and proud of our achievements. So, you can do whatever it is. I've got so much money bits in there as well. Money's flying, coming out of everywhere. But you can do the same thing in Canva. You create movies there and it's free. You can do it in PowerPoint, anything really. It's just a series of pictures with some words on them and adding some, like that. What I did was on my album for the mood thing. I did that on my phone. I took all these photos and then it creates a movie out of it and it put music with it. So it was just like a really entertaining sort of thing. I can show you that one too, my mood board. Yeah.
Okay, so what you're calling that one up, I'll tell you my version, is because I understand how to edit videos, and I'm getting a little bit too sophisticated, but, I've just, part of my daily routine is to write down my goal. I've got a 5-year goal.
Yeah.
And I spend 5 minutes just focusing on achieving that goal.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've decided to do is I'm just reading onto voice those little segments of each of those goals.
Right.
And then what I'm doing is I'm then putting that down onto the video, and then I've got a like a vision board in the background with my big goal, and then all these little cars that I want and places I want to go and visit and things like that.
Yep.
And because it's a movie, I then if I want to go to Brazil, I've got a picture of Rio de Janeiro, and it just pops up, as a whole shot, and what I'm starting to do is, because I'm getting a little bit caught up in this whole process, is I'm now starting to add moving pictures on top as well. So I use green screen. So it's now I've got 5 layers of video, which slows things down really quite. And I green screen it. So I've got this picture of investments, and I've got a picture of like an investment stream, like a stream, and then money in the stream, and then this little graphic of investments going up. So it's 5 layers deep.
So powerful, so powerful.
And then using Joe Dispenza's idea is I've got songs, just uplifting songs. It's really hard to find uplifting songs, by the way.
Yeah, and that's another tip is to put together an uplifting playlist. It's some people like in sporting stuff, like, oh, I have the Tiger, it keeps you going. But I have certain playlists, and it's really, really cool. So when I'm walking and I really need to be uplifted, if I've had a shitty morning or something, put on the playlist. Yeah, for sure.
Well, because I've got one of the songs I've got there is "Heaven Is a Place on Earth." I think it's that song. I never liked it, but it's a nice little positive song, so I threw it on there. And when I was walking through Paddy's Markets on Friday, it popped up, and then all of a sudden, like if you're walking through an area and all of a sudden your song pops up, it reminds you of your goal, and that's the whole idea of this. Now you're focusing on what you want as opposed to living in your past.
Yeah. Well, that's just like, having that morning ritual, and really drawing it in each day. So what is it? Today is the day of my amazing great fortune. What do I need to know today to, just show me the way? And the gratitude. I am so grateful that I had that wonderful weekend and came back safely last night, because it just helped me, blah, blah, blah. 3 things you're grateful for. Now, here's my little, just a bit of a thingy, the mood board. So I've entitled it Mood Board, Empowered Clothing, Noosa. But this was just all my photos put together in a movie with music. My girlfriend, and it was just creating the mood of, what I'm after.
So you got moving pictures as well?
Yeah. And that cost me nothing. Could You Be Loved is the music that's attached to it.
Yeah.
And that was our sort of, weekend thing. So that's really simple, free, and I was taking the photos, and I selected them, what I wanted to do, put it in an album, and then on the album it just says play as a movie. And you can save it and share it and do whatever you want with it.
Fantastic.
I do it for my birthdays, right? Yeah.
Okay, so we've spoken about vision boards. We've spoken about Pinterest. Pinterest. We've spoken about anchoring. We've spoken about vision boards. What else is there out there that is a tool that people can use to amplify the goals?
Money itself. Just, this is what we've said before. Carry it around in your wallet. Like you have $100 note, I think. I've got $250.
I did. Broke it.
But I always have money in my phone, and I always have money in my thingy. Even and I kept finding, after you had a polo story, was it a polo story about finding $2?
Yeah, Andreas,
Andreas, was it? Yeah. So
he found more money at school the other day as well. So
that's amazing. So then the next day I kept finding money. So I just keep it in my phone now. But sticking the money around, sticking it up on your laptop, right? Sticking it on the door. It's just, putting it under your pillow. That's really powerful, what you're sleeping on, right? And putting it under your bed, just some coins.
Just wash it first.
Laundered,
You never know where the money's been.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. That's right. So, or you can put it in a little plastic bag and stick it in. Doesn't matter, but just, you're drawing that energy in. What are you sleeping on? Sleeping on your millions. So, yeah. So, as I said before, there's so many things, sprays, crystals. It's just whatever you resonate with, because it's what works for one isn't going to work for someone else. So it's what you are drawn to, what works for you. I think that's super important as well to remember that. That's a lot of people are visual. So that's why these sort of things really simple to do, and post it around so that you can see stuff, all that energy and pick up. Use your senses, That's why I like the smells, because they, ocean breeze or something if you're wanting to go on a holiday.
Okay. I want to get back to this bunny thing, because there's a few things we can do with bunny. Both you and I read Joe Vitale, and one of the things he says is get a $100 bill and walk around with a $100 bill in your wallet, which is a great tip to do. Yep. The other thing that he's talking about is a little bit harder in Australia because we don't have $1 bills. But what you're saying is get a whole load of dollar bills and then just leave them around for people to find. And what that does is it's spreading on the goodwill. People are picking up this money. They're feeling good about finding money. But you're also sending out a message that you've got an abundance of money. Right? So
I love that. Yeah. Oh, and I love your Jim Carrey thing that you shared the other day.
Yeah. Well, that was Alison, yeah.
Oh, yeah, carrying around the $10 million check, and then he actually got it. Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, his anchor was a $10 million check that he pulled out his wallet.
And I went on a retreat once, and we had a blank check, and we had to write in how much money we would like. So I put $15,000, and then that was when the $15,000 turned up for my 50th birthday. And it was like,
yes,
I'd only been on the retreat in the March, and then it happened in the April. So it does work. It really does work. Thinking outside the box.
Yeah, absolutely. So those are some of the things you can do. I mean, you're only limited by your imagination anyway.
100%. And that's why expand your possibilities. Just really think, oh, what could I do? Even getting a cup and getting a dollar sign on it or writing on it or something like that.
Yeah.
The $2 shop has heaps of fake money and stuff. That would be perfect, actually, Paul, is to go to the $2 shop. I know I used to get it for my kids, those big wads of fake notes.
Yeah. Why not?
Like that. Just be really creative and throw those all over the house, in the car, under the bed, in your office especially.
When you go to a game of football, when they do the Mexican wave, throw the money up in the air.
That's one of the pictures that I've got in my mind movie is the money being thrown everywhere. And I've put that here as well in the middle. Where is it? There, money flying everywhere. It's just flying. It's magic.
I've literally got that picture in my mind movie. Well, a similar one, not that exact one, but it's a guy, he's got a magnet and it's attracting the money. Yeah, and what I'm going to do is because I know how to remove the background in my picture. It's easy. You can do it online. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a picture of me like that. And then I'm actually going to put myself in that picture as well.
You crack me up. Oh, fantastic. I can't wait to see that. That's fantastic.
I actually did that with there's one of them with money flying around. So I put myself in the picture. And there's another one that I did for, I was looking for angels, right? And there's this beautiful cloud that looks like an angel.
Yeah.
So I got that cloud and I put myself in front of it. So now it looks like I got a big angel looking over me.
Oh, that's hilarious. Can you, once you do the money one, can you?
Are you there?
Put that in the group. I've frozen up again.
Yeah,
so
it's gone crazy. It's gone out to like 14 minutes. I suppose I can show some. Let's see if I can find a little bit. Well, what we're doing this, maybe I'll come back and I'll share some of that video that I've done. But what I want to talk about is also mind maps. Have you heard of mind maps?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Got into those in the 90s, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Love mind maps. Big time. I forgot.
Right. So online, I've got a mind map. I've been using the mind map for years now. And I'm actually going to share it with you. The greatest thing about using this mind map is, one, it's free for the first 3 or 4. So if you've got 3 or 4 emails, you can have 12 different mind maps. But then what I've done is with each mind map, I've been able to link it to Google Docs or something like that.
No way.
So let me share my screen with you and show you what I mean. So share screen.
I didn't know there was an online one, because for me a mind map is a brain dump. So you just go dump, 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 dump in the categories. But how cool is that? There's an online thing.
So tell me when you can see that.
Well, I'm seeing a blue thing with yellow bits on it. Is that it?
Yeah, okay. That's my mind map.
Right.
Okay. So basically, so what you can do is you can add another map over there. So this one is for Life Vantage, right? So
wow.
So what I've done there. So if I zoom in, plus, So what I've been doing is I'm going out, aren't I? Plus. Okay, so you can see that I've just been keeping a day of, because I've been taking these supplements, how have I been feeling on these supplements, right? And then, as you can see, day 51 to day 75, okay? If I click on that attachment, it actually takes me to a Google Doc.
No.
And I don't know if this will open up. Did it open up, or are you still on the mind map?
No, it hasn't opened up.
So let me just see if I need to change the. I'm going to stop sharing. Okay, and then I'm going to share the screen again. And so when you open up, you don't have to go through this whole process. It's just that because we're going through. So is it that one there? No, there it is there. So all I'm doing is on day 51 was the date. I only had a little issue while I was asleep. So I'm just keeping the record of how these supplements are working for me, so that when people ask me, I've got a powerful story around them. So this is how you use mind maps. And oops, let me stop sharing. Did I stop sharing?
Yep.
Okay, and so what's it called? It's called mindmeister.com. Copy. I don't know why I'm copying and putting it into the chat. No one can see it. But it's called MindMeister, MindMeister.com. And it's quite simple to use. And when you've got an idea, let's say you want to go overseas, you might, that might be the theme. And then you can create a little tab as, whether you want to fly first class, second class, or cattle class, or maybe you want to fly Virgin, or maybe you want to fly whichever airline you want to fly. Yep. And then you can, things you might want to do. So if you go, let's say you fly to Queensland, maybe you want to go to Universal Studios or something like that. So you can create all these little tabs, and what happens is it starts to create a picture around the whole central theme that you're looking at.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm old school, but a firm believer that you can't beat the power of paper and pen, right? Of writing stuff down, doing it, because it's allowing that creativity to come through. I know a lot of people like to just type right in there, but that's a perfect way to organize it all and have it as a structured, because mind maps go all over the place, and it's just because that's what it is. It's a brain dump. You go from here to here to
exactly.
here. You're taught to do that at school. Like mind mapping is the best. It's the best.
Yeah. So that's another tool. So do we have any other tools that we can think of?
Not off the top of my head. So
but we've given a lot of great tools there. Really, when it comes to amplifying your goals, it's really anything you can do to make sure that you remain focused on that goal for as long as you can.
Yeah.
Use that 5% of your consciousness before you slip back into the 95% of your memory. And your memory is just reminding you what you did yesterday. And if you don't change what you did yesterday, it's going to be the same tomorrow.
And as Joe Dispenza keeps saying, we have 60 to 70,000 thoughts per day. And 90% of the thoughts we have tomorrow are the same ones that we have today and the same ones that we had yesterday. So let's just enhance these new thoughts, get some conscious awareness happening about where your attention goes, your energy flows. And as you say, where the energy goes, the money flows, right?
Money flows.
It's a two-step program. It's about amplifying your energy and your focus.
Yeah. And what I might just do is so I've been, I love my walks in the morning or bike rides in the morning. And one of the things I love to say, to one of my affirmations, I suppose, is there's gold dust there in the air. Right? That comes from Catherine Ponder. Right? So sometimes I'll be walking along and I'll imagine myself walking through a gold dust storm and just collecting all the gold dust. But what I found yesterday, so last week I did bike riding. I did a lot of bike riding, and it's because it's just starting to get warm. So my legs are just starting to get used to it. And yesterday I was powering along. I was feeling so great. And it was really amazing because as I was walking along, you have to use a different energy to create your goals than the energy you had in the past. So I was walking a little bit faster than normal. And then all of a sudden my thought process were a little bit different. And they were actually my goals that I'm working on. There's gold dust there in the air. There's another one where I'm I want to keep myself youthful. So, and I could just imagine myself saying I'm youthful and all of these things. So instead of having the memory thoughts of the past coming up, the new thoughts were starting to take over. And this is just the power of being repetitive of everything.
Consistency. But what I think tonight is all about is about shaking it up, like shaking up your energy around money. So like doing things differently, expanding your possibilities of how you can create it, right? So and we've just brought in a whole heap of tools out of our toolbox that we both use and have found really helpful and powerful. So vision is so important, touchy-feely stuff, and if you're wanting to buy a garment and you might, get a sample of the fabric or something, whatever it is, just touchy-feely sensing, using your senses, because everything is energy. So tapping into your energy.
Yeah. Look, years ago, I remember when I still worked, when I actually had a job, and there was a girl that she'd turn up to work and she'd have a spatula. And you go,
Yeah, right.
What's that for? She goes, well, it's for the house. I said, oh, I didn't know you had it in your house. She said, I don't have it yet.
Right? Yeah.
But then what happened is I became a financial advisor. And because we had this friendship, I became her financial advisor.
Right.
And I went to her house to give her advice. She had manifested the house. And it was just small little things that she could afford. So even if you've got a goal that might financially be out of reach, let's say you want to live on a house in the water, what are some of the small things you can get that can become anchors, right? That you can afford now. So maybe if you want to live on the beach, maybe you'll get a nautical style letterbox or something that you might put out.
So interesting you're saying that, because I hadn't I don't think I'd even sold my house, but this was last year, over the last few years. I started buying things when they're on special or things that I really wanted, and I bought two of them because I had this vision that I wanted to have a beach house and that another house. And so now I'm actually in a rental and I have the beach house. So I needed two of everything, but I bought nice things. And so I've still got this vision that I like to get like a 2-bedroom apartment or something. And so what I've been doing lately is acquiring stuff for this new place. And I don't even have it, but I've just got some cushions, some cowhide skins, some really nice French cutlery. It's like, and it's starting, and it's just Minimax when it's on sale or whatever. It just getting it here and there. And I haven't got it yet, but I'm a firm believer. I can see this new place. It's going to be like really modern, sort of black and white, and I can see it. So got it out there, baby.
Look, and now when we think about manifesting, right? So my father, when he was in his youth, was a bit of a dreamer, and he wanted to have a health farm. And what happened is he bought himself some land on the Cola River down in Sydney, near Windsor, and he's got this amazing brain that he's just one of the. He loves his intellect, right? That's the problem I have with him, is that he over intellectualizes everything, and then
in the head.
Yeah. But what he did is he created all of these amazing little geodesic dome style places. He had the most amazing vision, and he bought the land and he had everything. And then when it got down to getting it past council, there was a vote. There were 7 councillors. And I'll never forget, I met the one councillor who was a sleazy guy that had bright red shoes on. And he was kind of like asking for a bit of a hand me out.
Right, right.
that wasn't going to get bribed, right? So it fell through. But what ended up happening was an opportunity in South Africa came through, and I spent 9 months working in South Africa on a health farm that my dad brought to fruition. So,
Yeah, when one
things
door
happen in
closes,
the,
another one is open. Yeah, absolutely.
but and you've got this vision of this beautiful place on the beach, a double-story unit, whatever. It could be something that's similar but not exactly the same, if that makes sense.
And that's where you don't limit yourself. You put this or
Yeah,
something better, right?
yeah,
So
absolutely.
so yeah, absolutely. So that's what I'm putting up for in town here, a little townhouse as well. So
Yeah,
let's not limit ourselves, right? So
yeah.
let's
Like,
give it a go. Yeah.
let's say hi
Cool.
to Bill. Billy's late, but hi to Billy.
Oh.
So we've got Adrian Pure Kanaka. Hi, Kanaka.
Oh yeah. I'll turn that off because it's double. Oh,
That's
cool.
right.
So hopefully there's lots and lots and lots of ideas in there just to really, I mean, part of this is just to really motivate and inspire people to in different ways to draw that money in, to get in the driver's seat of your own energy. Absolutely. Really, and it's about getting more of that clarity and focus and drawing it in and just feeling as if you've already got it, but doing it in a visual way. So we've spoken a lot in the past few weeks about feeling it, but this is when you're seeing it, you can feel it even more. So your energy is sort of fast tracking to your end goals and calling it in and amplifying this energy, this message that we're sending out here. This is what I'm wanting. This is what I'm choosing, not wanting, sorry, choosing. So this is what I'm choosing now to bring in vision boards.
And
Oh,
that's the new heading. I choose to.
yeah, I loved it. I love it. I love it. Because it's so powerful. We're powerfully
Yeah.
getting in the driver's seat of our own energy to create the future that you want right now.
Now, what I want to put it out there, although I don't think we'll have time, but because it looks like the delay between us going live and what goes on Facebook looks like it's a couple of minutes. But if there's anybody out there that has any questions, put it in the chat and let's see if we can answer those questions. And in the meantime, Sally and I will keep talking.
We're good at that. We're good at that. So,
Well, Sally's good at that. I'm good at listening to her because she always has me on the edge of my seat with what she has to say.
yeah. So, I mean, connecting into your senses, right? So we were talking about playlists with music. That's hearing stuff and seeing it with all the vision stuff that we were talking about today. So feeling like, getting the fabric or whatever it is, feeling that. Oh, if you want to move to the beach, having some sand on your desk, what can you feel as well? So what are the other senses? Touching, yes. So that's
Yeah.
touching.
Well, the big one is smell.
Yeah, smell.
Smell is one.
Love sprays.
Yeah, but smell is one of those that actually would take you back to a particular time as well.
Oh,
It's one of those really good ones. Yeah,
links
olfactory.
into
Yeah.
your limbic system. Yeah, absolutely. Brings up back the memories. It's like the smell of a cake, and that satisfies your soul. Or grandma's cooking, or you're walking in the house and mum's, takes you back to your childhood. Yeah, that's interesting. Smell, yeah, for sure. Love that.
So there's plenty of things like that. Yeah.
Tapping into your senses.
Tapping into your senses. Right.
Into your senses. Yep, beautiful.
Okay. All right. So before we leave, everybody, I don't think we're even up to that point. Do you have any last minute thoughts? Do you want to tell us any great exciting? We've heard about your exciting story to Noosa. Any other? And I see you daily because we're part of this group where we share daily. So I know that you've had a lot of exciting things happen to you over the last. Or they just starting, they're so exciting that they're normal now.
Well, you know what? I wake up every day and I go, all I know is that it's a day ending in Y. So what's going to come at me today? And in a positive way. It's like, because I'm open to any possibilities now, I've sort of trained myself to go, yeah, just go with the flow, because this energy at the moment, extreme highs and extreme lows. So there's, you get good days and bad days. And I just encourage everyone to allow the emotions to flow through them and not hang on to them. So if you're having a really shitty day, that's okay. Just allow it. Just, do whatever it takes just to get through the day. But don't hang on to it, because then you're going to hang on. It's going to get stuck in the body. It's going to create stories to it, particularly with fear, worry, all that sort of stuff. Allow that to go and flow through you. Best advice ever, particularly with what's going on at the moment. Increased cost of living, Christmas getting closer. Don't allow that dark energies of stress and worry to overtake the lightness. So, we go light and dark. It's a duality of life. So stick to the light, because the dark's there. That's when we always go through the change. When we're in the dark, that allows us to then see where the other side is, the light. So, as we're coming into this crazy Christmas period.
So Bill says he sets weekly goals, and I know he does because I speak to him all the time. So it's important. If you've got a big picture, you break it down into smaller goals.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you're in my class, my weekly class, and we set goals.
Yes. Which, by the way, do you want to give it a spruik? It's every Monday morning at 9.
Yeah, at 10:30. And
10:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time. So you Queenslanders, you've got a different time.
It's 9:30, because I did it from Queensland this week. Holistically Empowered Mindset. And it's a Facebook group where there's like-minded community like this one, where there's accountability, there's support. You do deeper personal growth and healing. We do run frequencies, we do meditations, we do a little bit of a stretch, we set goals for the week, but goals on all levels, not just, your to-do list of just business stuff. It's your mind, your body, and your soul. So it's things around your business, but also around your health, and also around things that bring you love, joy, and happiness, and give you some purpose in life. So it's an empowering group.
Fantastic. Now I'm going to finish with a great story that I don't know if I should finish with, but it happened today. So I put in my tax return to my accountant, right? And it's come back, and I've opened it up, and it's got, I owe $9,200.
Yeah.
And I've gone, what the F? The whole reason for having a business is so that this is my business tax, at my company. The whole reason for having a business is so that I don't pay tax. All the profits will go into paying my salary, worst case scenario, or buying new equipment or whatever. So I've rung up the accountant and I said, why do I have such a big tax bill? And he's gone, well, I'm just going off the books that were sent to me. So my bookkeeper this year had cancer and had radiation and all that. So I don't know if she had the best mind, but she did the books accurately. She just didn't do it the way that we've been doing it in the past, because I'm writing off everything. So I'm speaking to the accountant, and I said, well, why does my company have a $31,000 profit? He said, well, that's off the books. I said, so why wouldn't I then just pay myself that salary instead? And because there's a sliding tax scale, so wouldn't I just pay that myself as a salary? And he said, well, what's your income? I said, well, none yet, right? So he said, okay. So he's done the maths. He says, oh, well, instead of $9,000, you pay $2,500. So I said, oh, that's great. Now I've got down from $9,000 to $2,500. And then I said, well, how can we get this down to zero?
Yeah.
And he says, well, what do you have in mind? I said, well, what if I do this? So I've got another structure.
Yeah.
What if I paid it into that structure? He said, we can do that. I said, how hard is it? He said, it's a flick of a pen. It's just a stroke of a pen. I said, well, let's do that. So he's done that, got my tax return, 9,000 down to zero.
Oh, my goodness me. Congratulations. Oh, my God. Oh, my gosh. Because, the old line, if you don't ask, you can't receive.
Yeah.
So,
and yesterday, I told you this, I've been not talking about it because I didn't want to visualize it, or I didn't want it to become real. But last year, because of COVID, we had the JobKeeper, and I got some JobKeeper. And then they did an audit and they said that I got paid too much. So they want me to pay some back.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I'm going to dispute that. And I was nice to the girl. I said, look, I know you're doing your job. I thought, oh, maybe I sweet talked her. Didn't quite happen because I got the bill.
Yeah.
And so today, and I got it yesterday. The mail came on my desk, and I went, I got to open it, because if I don't open it, I'm going to be worrying about it all night.
Yeah.
No, so I opened it, and it was, and then I went, oh, geez. And I'll tell you what I've been doing to fall asleep, right? Because I'm sleeping really good now. But so I've opened up and I've gone, it's that bill. So I've gone, okay, well, I'm just going to go with the flow. So this morning I rang up, because I give you like a month to pay it, right?
Yep.
But you receive the letter 2 weeks later, so you really only got 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I've rung them up, the revenue service. I said, look, I want to dispute this bill. And they said, well, we'll put in the dispute for you. So I'm disputing it. So we'll see what happens from there. But I don't have to pay it until at least later on in December now. And who knows?
Work your magic. You're good at it.
It's kind of like, I'm a big Robert Kiyosaki fan. And he says, and even Kerry Packer, who was Australia's richest man, said, if you pay more tax than you have to, you're an effing idiot.
Mm.
And so I'm thinking, well, I don't want to pay, especially because of the way my study, I've learned a little bit more about tax, and I don't want to support what they're actually doing.
Mm.
But we won't go down that track. But I'm looking at ways to reduce my tax legally as much as I can. And if it means that I've got to just ask a few questions of the scary ATO, people poo their pants when they hear about the ATO. And they're going, whatever. I've heard of people committing suicide because they can get audited.
Yeah, right.
Now, I've heard of stories of people that have done everything perfectly in their tax, and then retrospectively, they've changed the laws, and then they were in breach of the law. So, and these are true stories. So people get really scared, and I go, well, I'm not going to live my life in fear. And so you probably heard me this morning, in the Loom, where they say you got to burn away what you don't want. So I said, well, I don't want to burn this away because I'm looking for the opportunity in this.
Yeah. Just writing that down. Forgot about that. Well, congratulations on that, Paul.
All right. Okay. All right. Now we've gone an hour already. So I want to thank everybody that's come. We've had people on all the time. So I know Adrian's been there, Billy's been there, Kanaka's been there. Who else? I don't know who else. So thank everybody for coming, and
keep wearing those beads though. I love them.
Oh, you love the beads. Me and my billion dollar boot camp beads. That means I'm going to be a billionaire, baby.
I'll see you on that planet.
Okay.
It's only around the corner. Alrighty. Well, thank you again, and hopefully that was lots of helpful tips in there. It's
I'm
just
sure there is.
Let's sort of a big what do you call it? We're just amplifying this energy, just amplifying it. Think outside the box, expand your possibilities, because life's too short for average when it can be really awesome.